श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा। शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमा आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदां जाड्यान्धकारापहा। हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्।
Welcome, friends. So we are having a very important session today on management lessons, management and leadership lessons from Bhagavad-Gita. We all know Bhagavad-Gita is the discourse of Lord Krishna to Arjun at the beginning of the Mahabharata, the war. Now, this discourse was heard by two people. One, of course, was Arjun, who was listening it directly from the Lord. And the second person was Dhritarashtra. Both of them, they heard the same discourse, but Arjun was listening to it very intently, with full focus, and he imbibed into himself whatever the Lord was saying. On the other hand, Dhritarashtra was more concerned about the fate of his children in the war than about the discourse or what the Lord was saying. So he did not gain anything from it. Both the persons were listening to the same discourse, but the effect was different on both the persons, mainly because of the focus that they had. So I'll request all the audience who are here today to listen with full focus to Dubey sir and gain whatever he is saying and imbibe in themselves the values that he is going to tell us. He is going to cover all the chapters of Gita today, 18 adhyayas as we call it. And each chapter has a lesson. He will be telling us what is the lesson, how we have to imbibe these things into our daily life. So over to Dubey sir for his session.
Thank you, Arvindji, and very good morning to all my dear friends. It is indeed a pleasure to contribute something on this very important thing which is very close to my heart. Management and responsible leadership in Bhagavad-Gita. Well, friends, this is a battlefield of Kurukshetra where Mahabharata had to happen. Incidentally, Arjun, the main protagonist of Mahabharata, didn't want to fight, seeing Dronacharya, Bhishma Pitama, and all relatives on other side. He got disillusioned and he was desperate not to do it. He showed a lot of despondency, distress. Lord Krishna took him to, at his instance, middle of the battlefield, and for 18 days, what started as a Gita, it is a Bhagavad Gita where Lord Krishna taught him Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and the value of Lord himself. It is really a wonderful treaty, very useful and relevant even now. We will divide 18 chapters in 3 parts. There are 700 verses. We will take just a few. All 18 parts, we will throw a little light because some of them may not be very relevant with our topic. So I'll focus a little more on the chapters related to our topic. Now I start. Lord Krishna as a management and leadership guru excels in Bhagavad-Gita. Here, Lord Krishna is a leadership guru. Bhagavad-Gita contains 700 verses. Each verse is considered a very sacred mantra. Each verse a very shining, insightful gem for both management and self-improvement, that is leadership, the seed mantra of Bhagavad Gita. I have given some pictorials also, to keep you, engaged and keep you thinking. As per 11th verse in chapter 2, you need not bother about verse and chapters. That is, I have brought in here just to bring a little more authenticity. Sri Krishna told Arjun, you grieve for those who are not to be grieved for, and yet you speak words of wisdom. The learned do not grieve for the departed and those who have not departed. Now, the first lesson that Lord gives him is don't grieve for those departed, don't grieve for those not departed. That means avoid confusion, Arjun. A leader cannot have confusion. If you are there to lead the war, there has to be a clarity in mind. So, which means there has to be clarity in mind regarding what to do and what not to do. I hope this very fundamental principle should be very clear as it is a clarity in mind. I move forward. The power mantra of Bhagavad Gita. The power mantra we have given above the picture, the Sanskrit portion and the meaning down below. The meaning I'll explain. As per 66th verse in chapter 18, abandoning all dharmas of the body, mind and intellect, take refuge in me alone. God invokes, Lord invokes Arjun, take refuge in me alone. Surrender totally on me. Trust me. Believe me. I will liberate you from all sins that you might have committed or you might commit in the war. Do not grieve. Look, God expects from all of us, while doing our duty, to submerge our identity with the God and do full justice to our work. This means this alone. Otherwise, somebody may ask, take refuge in me alone. That somebody, I am talking about God. No, God is here an entity who controls all of us. We do not know what is going to happen next moment. So leave it on God. Do our duty. Now we move on to essence of Bhagavad Gita. I would like to stress here certain things I have brought even before the first adhyaya, the first chapter, that shows my focus, the focus of the Lord Krishna on those things. Effort is to revive the ancient teaching of love and compassion. Well, my dear friends, this is what is required primarily across the globe, love and compassion. If we have love and compassion, then neither there will be Pakistan, Taliban, wars, etc., in today's materialistic world, and make their values useful for attaining inner peace and prosperity. My dear friends, the mantra for any leader, whether it is Krishna or Arjun that he is grooming as a leader, is love and compassion. It has no substitute. Friends, what I am talking, I have practiced in my life. I always loved people, had compassion. So what I am saying with a lot of conviction, my dear friends. Moving on, the splendors of knowledge and wisdom of the 18 most precious wonderful prime gems known as 18 chapters applicable to any management and leadership situation. Well, friends, this we are showing as a step-by-step process of liberation of the human beings as initiated by God, Lord Krishna, and as we will take a few of them. It starts with grief. Arjun is in grief. Some light is thrown on him of knowledge. Depressed becomes, a brittle, bright light brings bright the work he has to do. What is his work? Then knowledge, detachment from all pleasures of life, detachment from relation, self-control on him, attain wisdom, who want to ultimate glimpses of God. Here God would give his own, exposure, supervision, what type of supervision God has, devotion, character, super person, divinity like God, dedication, and ultimately liberation of the soul, the free soul. This is the total essence of Gita I have explained in just one chart. These gems 18 can be utilized for own life enrichment. Lord Krishna here is a path-making teacher, the guru, and a responsible leader. Mark here, my dear friends, I am not saying a leader, a responsible leader who has taken the duty to groom his subordinate, to groom his shishya, the disciple, and Arjun is an example of an excellent learner and a value-adding leader. Why I am saying here a value-adding leader, later on, which is not our topic today, he gives a similar lesson to his elder brother, the king of Pandavas, Yudhishthir, and and takes the role of a leader. I am not commenting those things here. Well, friends, each chapter, now I am going to start chapters one by one and their highlights. Each chapter is called Yoga. What is Yoga? Yoga is a science of individual consciousness attaining communion with the ultimate consciousness, that is God. What we call it, connect with the God. Look, my dear friends, how Gita is connecting individual with the Almighty. So each chapter is highly specialized yoga, revealing the path of attaining realization of the ultimate truth. Truth, ultimate truth. Always remain connected to Lord Krishna. You see a symbolic connection of so many plugs with the Lord Krishna is given. So connect with the God. The moment we are connected with the God, the spirituality, the divinity, our mind, our focus, our thinking will have a 180 or 360-degree change automatically. How? Karma Yoga. The first 6 chapters have been classified as the Karma Yoga. How you connect with the God? By karma. Do your karma. Lord here says, they mainly deal, I am giving you very less text, more of pictorials and the concept behind it. They mainly deal so that it is not boring. Otherwise, Gita is very tough, very serious. It's not a small business. They mainly deal with the science of individual consciousness, means our consciousness attaining communion, the unity with the ultimate consciousness through action. We have to align with the God through action. This is called Karma Yoga, yoga through selfless action. Action bhi kaisa ho? It has to be a selfless action. It is difficult, but it has to be practiced as a selfless action. Chapter 1 comes to Arjun Vishad Yoga. I talked about it, the hesitation and despondency of Arjun to wage a war against those who taught him who gave him education, who were his guru, Bhishma. Wrong thinking is the only problem in life. Lord Krishna says, Arjun, this is a battlefield. Here you have to do your karma. What is your karma? You should understand and appreciate. If you don't understand, then you are wrong. Wrong thinking at the moment is the only problem in life. Look at my focus, my dear friends. Very few words have been chosen out of the text. Gyan Yog within 2, a chapter, communion through knowledge. This is chapter 2, 3rd shlok. Right knowledge is the ultimate solution to all problems. They say right knowledge should occur to us at the right moment. So right knowledge is the ultimate solution to all the problem. Encouraging leadership. The responsible leader boosts the morale of the members of the team and encourages and inspires them to get up and rise to the occasion. This is how he encourages Arjun for occasion. In the face of crisis and chaos, the leaders convert the potential losers to certain winners by indicating the path to recovery and victory. Sum up, encouragement by the leader. This is the leadership message by a management. Encouragement energizes even during depression. My dear friend, often our employees are depressed. Often our employees are off the track. It is the duty of the management, it is the duty of the leader to energize them, to encourage them, to praise them, to appreciate them, and bring them to normal position. Well, they have to be brought to present reality. This is the 11th verse of this chapter. Very interesting. Accepting what has happened. Often we read these lines somewhere here or there as a snippet. Accepting what has happened and not worrying about what has not happened is wisdom. What is the wisdom? Accepting what has happened and not worrying about what has not happened is wisdom. So Lord Krishna says exactly the line which is written on the right hand, teaching them. Now I quote you an example of my life, in Balrampur Chini Mill example of my PNB working of the year 2000. I was regional manager, quite young regional manager, scale 4. All of you are bankers, most of you, at Faizabad, Ayodhya. Incidentally, that is also a Lord Rama's place. And we have, and the Kisan Credit Card was launched for the first time in the India. We were organizing a huge Kisan Card camp at Balrampur Chini Mill. Because I found in Faizabad, we could not do anything, no industrial advance, only 5 urban branches, rest all semi-urban rural. We could do only agriculture financing or retail lending. I learned first time agriculture lending and retail lending, what it is there, and what is the value of the recovery and PM management. I learned those things practically there. Now, when we were doing Kisan Card for Balrampur Chini Mill, me, my zonal manager, Shri Bhargavji, US Bhargavji, I remember him always. He was there. We were waiting at Lucknow Hotel in the evening for flight to land from Delhi. I think our boss was Mr. Narayan Sami, and later on it was Mr. Chabria. Were coming with Mr. Avasthi. Though Police Saab, our chairman, had to come. Finally, ED and GM were coming. Flight could not land in Lucknow. It took round and round because it was 4th January, lot of fog in Delhi and Lucknow. Flight came back. We were dejected, disappointed, especially me. And in the morning when we left for Balrampur, my JDM told, Mr. Dubey, forget about it. This privilege had to come to me, not to them. And then he told me a prayer I have never forgotten in my life. Oh Lord, give me strength to accept what I cannot do. Oh Lord, give me strength to accept what I cannot do. Oh Lord, give me strength to do what I can do. That is what is in my hands. And give me the wisdom to know the distinction between two. हे भगवान मुझे बुद्धि दो कि क्या मैं एक्सेप्ट करूं, क्या मैं एक्सेप्ट नहीं करूं. Listen here. Krishna says, accepting what has happened. जो हो गया वो हो गया. नहीं आई flight. And not worrying about what has not happened. This is the wisdom. I just gave you an example. I really learned the whole concept of this thing in my life. It shifted my thinking towards incidents that happen or that don't happen. Well, friends, the same chapter continues. Another verse comes. Right knowledge is the ultimate solution to all problems. Not only knowledge, right knowledge. Work is the way. Lord says, work is the way. Work, work, work. You merge yourself, you submerge your identity with work. Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phal haiturbhu ma te sangos akarmane. My dear friends, I am not quoting too many Sanskrit verses here, which may go over head of few. In fact, some of them go over my head also. But I am only quoting just 2-3 verses which are very, very well known. Like Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu. Lord Krishna says, work is the way. This is the right knowledge, is the ultimate solution for all. Do your work. Only for work, you have the right. Fruits of work are not your right. Cause for fruits, you may become not doing the work, be interested. So only work. Fruit, I will give whatever I please to give you. This is Lord says. The meaning of karma is in the intention to do. The intention behind the action is what matters. Those who are motivated only by the desire for the fruits of action are miserable. Those who want action, because if they don't get the result, they may feel disheartened, for they are constantly anxious about the results of what they do. I hope this is crystal clear to one and all. If you have any question till now, my dear friend, note down. In the end, I will have plenty of time for answers of all your questions. If I can, I will try. Jnana Yoga, it goes on, chapter 2. Work is the way to transform one's own skills and knowledge and abilities to results and wealth. You are the master of your destiny, provided you work, use your skills and abilities for the result. We have to work making full efforts in the right direction with a positive mindset to attain noble goals for seva and excellence. In a bank, those who are working national goal or your bank's goals for achievement to move to higher cadre. Friends, that learning at Ayodhya brought transformation in my thinking, in my working. Of course, I am a human being, mortal. I was looking for results someday or the other, but the focus shifted from result to effort, and I could experience in my life that if you do your work with full efforts, using all your abilities and skill, results do come. What you get from the work is the grace of the God. ये भगवान की कृपा है मेरे दोस्तों कि आपको जो चाहिए वो काम करके मिल जाए. Work excellence adds worth and value in your life. Well, friends, the next slide shows seeing the unseen. It is very interesting. Seeing beyond a responsible leader is awake, alert, aware, and conscious. When the whole world is sleeping, the Lord is awake. You are working, Lord is awake. He is awake to find solutions for the learners and the institutions. if we have faith in God, if we have faith in our work and efforts, yes, then even God will have to be awake when all others are sleeping, finding solutions for our problem. It doesn't sound strange to me. It may sound strange to some people that it is not possible. Friends, this happens. You have to experience in life. Those of you who can experience, they can appreciate the beauty behind this concept. I was talking regularly on selflessness. Now we come to the chapter 3, Karma Yoga, communion through action. How? What type of action? Selflessness is the only way to progress and prosper. If you are self-interested, if you are selfish, sooner or later, you may be exposed to all others. And the very first exposure will be to God. God will come to know that you are selfish. Lord Krishna advises Arjuna to perform his duty detached from the thoughts of the consequences. Here, initially I had told about detachment. In the picture it is written, detachment is not that you own nothing. Detachment is that nothing owns you. Detachment of that sort. Friends, this is all difficult. I am again and again telling you, but anybody can do easy thing. Only the wise people do difficult thing. So by acting for the pleasure of the Supreme without selfish motives, one can be liberated from the law of karma and attain spiritual knowledge of the self and the Supreme. Mind the words, my dear friends. The attachment and selflessness by acting for the pleasure of the Supreme without selfish motives, one can be liberated from the law of karma and attain spiritual knowledge of the self and the Supreme. Selflessness is the only way to progress and prosper. Lord Krishna says further in another verse 3, work and knowledge. The shining management guru inspires the managers, you and me and leaders, to do and achieve and also to know and visualize. The achievers not only perform the work with excellent quality, but they know what, where, when, how, and why of the work. All these things related to work are known to them. That is why they are absolutely high performers. Knowledge and skill and sense and essence of excellence are the hallmark of selflessness. Mutual support. This is what is called teamwork, interpersonal relationship. Here, respect is offered by the leader and grace is received by the people. So it is offer and receive. You have to be giving mutual support to each other, and management and leader has to be like that. Leadership by example. Often we quote, Field Marshal Manekshaw was a bright leader. So what is that? Leadership by example. Showing the way by leader, by one's own example, excellence begets more excellence. I am taking a very humble example of this particular quote, leadership by example, coming. Dhyan, Karma, and Sannyas Yoga, the friendship of, Sudama and Lord Krishna is excellent, and it has been described in the whole Bhagwat and Mahabharata in a very, very beautiful manner. Renunciation by the Lord Krishna of the highest sort, where he becomes selfless and he shows example. Look, when as a king of Dwarka, I can do why all others cannot do. I tell you, wonderful it is. You get enamored of it. Renunciation of action in knowledge. Every act can be an act of prayer. God is nothing. It is but the ultimate truth. Anyone who has gained the knowledge of the truth, all other aspects of the life become immaterial. Now, this is why I said leadership by example. Nothing can be better than that. Show the path. Chapter 4, continued of the last slide. Chaos and emerging leadership. It says in the 7th verse that whenever there is a chaos, a leader is born. Look, I don't say there was a chaos in country. Britishers were ruling. Someday a leader came. Maybe Mahatma Gandhi, maybe Jawaharlal Nehru, maybe Shahid Bhagat Singh, whomsoever we consider responsible for independence. It is your choice. But whenever there is a chaos, a leader emerges. Similarly, whenever there is an initiative, this is what is called in management initiative and innovation. Please mark these words, initiative and innovation. When wrong is up and right is down, it is chaos. During chaos, order is destroyed and disorder is on the rise. And rise, initiative is the key in chaos. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata abhyutthanamarsasya tadatmanam sujatmeham. During a chaos, a leader emerges by assuming responsibility. When Krishna found Arjun amidst chaos, not doing anything. So, wherever the right is harmed, wherever the wrong is formed, when wrong is up and right is down, then Bharata, I come on my own. I think it is very clear. If it is not clear to you, you can come back later on. It continues, verse 8, protecting and establishing the right. Lord or the leader protects and establishes the right, rule of law. What is called this? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansanapnaya sambhami yuge yuge. A responsible guru and inspired leader corrects the wrong and protects the right. This is what Lord Krishna tells Arjun, to protect the good and the right man. According to Lord Krishna, as he was chosen by Arjun as his colleague, rather than a billion, Sainik or the Sipahis preferred by Duryodhan in comparison to alone Krishna, who says, I will not take the weapons. So he says, to protect the good and right man, the Pandavas, the Arjun, to destroy the evil and wrong man, the Kauravas and the Kaurav Sena, and even those Bhishma, etc., who were supporting the wrong man. Please, my dear friends, mark this in our management concept. To protect the good and right man, destroy the evil and wrong man, to establish the right at each stage, I occur at right time, age by age. I keep on appearing. Similarly, we have to protect the right and side with the right people, not with the wrong man. Hope it is very clear. Friends, in the same chapter, the next verse comes, learning organization. An organization is always in a learning mode. Improvement keep taking place. The three qualities of a guru, a coach, is knowledge, experience, and communication ability. Lord Krishna is telling, look, I want to impart you knowledge, experience, and communication ability. Tell me which leader is not supposed to do these three things? Which management is not responsible for providing knowledge, experience, and communication ability? Without communication and knowledge, no leader can ever succeed in any organization. So knowledge, experience, and communication can ensure sustained flow. How? With knowledge, you know the truth and the worth, the value. With experience, you know the meanings thereof. With communication, you attain communion with the God. So with offer and receive, you enjoy the value and the worth. Moving further, chapter 5, Karma Sannyas Yoga. See, these headlines are the bookish headlines. Various authors have given these words. You may not bother about them. You may look to the contents part as to what it is. Now, this says Sannyas Yoga, means it is a communion with the God, connect with the God through renunciation, like we showed earlier, a Sudama case, renunciation of worldly pleasure of king. Communion through renunciation, renouncing the ego of individuality and rejoice on the bliss of infinity. A leader has to go beyond his ego of individuality. Main sahab ban gaya. No, you are just a chairman or a ED or a zonal manager. One day you will retire and come down to the road. Rejoice rather on the bliss of infinity, which is there for you. A karma yogi is not affected by the results of his deeds because he does not wish any rewards. By devotional service, he gets peace, which is the highest perfection of life. So total concentration in the shape of meditation, the responsible leader knows about total concentration and shares the secret of an unblemished path with his team member. So how a leader, an inspired leader, talks about communication, experience with his team members is shown here. Knowledgeable concentration leads to the realization of excellence anywhere and everywhere. The 6th chapter of Karma Yoga. If you remember, I was using sacrifice and meditation as also example, and the previous concentration almost interchangeably, because these chapters are so intertwined. For the sake of simplification, we have put them watertight different here. Otherwise, they are one. Communion through meditation. भगवान की प्राप्ति मेडिटेशन के द्वारा, सुख शांति की प्राप्ति मेडिटेशन के द्वारा. Connect to the higher consciousness daily by control over senses, which is not easy. How do you control your senses? There is no other shortcut for that. So they call it self-improvement is the best friend of number 5 verse. A self-realized management guru does not believe in developing others. Now here some contradiction offers by Lord Krishna. He says, I am a self-realized guru and I don't believe in developing others because I have to develop myself. He believes and knows that the self-development by leaders and managers is the real development. No one can develop anyone. One has to develop oneself. First, you develop yourself. Unless you are a developed person, a self-realized person, through dedication, concentration, you would never be able to develop good role model and others. Masters can only look. Masters can only extend, support, help, empower. The responsive leader is reliable and best friend. So he tells Arjun, I will extend support, help, empower you, make you best friend and a reliable person, but you have to meditate and develop yourself. Well, friend, continuation of the chapter 6, empathetic leadership. Leadership is not to be sympathy only. Sympathy is fine. That may be akin to compassion, I told you initially. It has to go beyond empathy. Put yourself in somebody's shoes. A responsible leader practices supreme equality. I don't need to explain this word. All of you are learned enough to understand and appreciate what is the supreme equality. No bhai bhatija, no favoritism, no, total fair treatment towards all, irrespective of caste, color, creed, lane, all those things. Everyone has to be offered equal treatment with equity. Reassuring leadership. For a responsible leader, process is of great importance rather than the consequence, because we know that a good process wins beautifully in the long term. That is why often in management parlance we say product is important, but if the process is good, idea is good, conception of idea is good, it is process is followed correct, your product will definitely succeed and it will be good. So the reassuring leadership is, it believes more on thinking, meditation, and also the process rather than just consequence, because consequence is a foregone conclusion that it will be right consequence. It is better to fail in working for a good cause. Look, my dear friend, just listen here. It is better to fail in working for a good cause rather than succeed in working for a wrong cause. I hope if some of us can do all these things, is wonderful. It is really communion with the God, the connect with the God. Well, friends, this is a few ideas about karma yoga. कर्मण्ये वादिकारस्ते मां फलेषु कदाचन. हम सिर्फ फोकस करें कर्म पर, रिजल्ट पे नहीं. कैसे करें? सेल्फलेस लव, कॉम्पैशन के द्वारा. हाउ डू वी डू? एम्पावरिंग पीपल, supporting people, loving people, our juniors, our subordinates, our colleagues. Selfless love, and with with sacrifice, and also with doing as an exemplary leader. If we do with dedication, devotion, and concentration, you are bound to achieve results. I have absolutely no doubt. Even now, not in my life, even now I am experiencing is day in and day out. I am a lawyer now by profession, from banker to an advocate, doing a lot of work, working like mad dog. I know God's grace has to be there. I am bound to succeed. Similarly, you take anything in your hand, anything, it will be done. You have to put 100% there, not 90%, not 99%, with full passion, involvement, and mutual support. Only this is possible. Well, friends, I move on to next 6 chapter, 7 to 12, the middle chapters. The middle 6 chapters describe the Bhakti Yoga as they principally pertain to science of individual consciousness, attaining communion with the ultimate consciousness through the path of knowledge and devotion. Devotion, dedication, samarpan. Bhagwan कहते तुम मेरे में समा जाओ. You forget your identity. Come to me. Forget you just work. Leave everything on me. This is the Bhakti has to be of that level. Bhakti. The Lord reveals himself to Arjun in many ways in these chapters through his vibhutis or opulence in chapter 10, and shows his infinite cosmic form in chapter 11. A situation comes when Lord has to, and in order to encourage Arjun, has to show his Virat Roop in the battlefield, which is seen by Arjun only, nobody else. No, nobody knew what is happening for these 18 days. Everybody was still. The time became still. Only Lord Krishna telling Arjun all these principles of life. Jnana Vijnana Yoga, communion through knowledge and renunciation. I have told these two words. This refers to the spiritual knowledge that does not ignore the reality of the material world. You can't, being a human being mortal, you have to know the reality of the material world, but aim always for spiritual knowledge. Science is the road that takes one on the spiritual highway, which eventually leads to the ultimate truth. This is called chapter 7, verse 7, value-adding leadership. The leadership is transforming the group into a valuable team. Is it not? What is the essence of a management or a leader? Leader is always transforming a group of people who may not be like all outstanding workers into a valuable team, and by inspiration and encouragement by the leader, all will perform wonderfully well. This is the value-adding leadership. I hope it can be appreciated by many. In fact, my dear friends, I'll make a mention here. You may have mental note. This is the chapter 8. I'm going to talk about all chapters 18, but there are 5 chapters, 8, 10, 13, 14 and 15. They have relatively less relevance with our topic of the day. So I will touch and then move on. These chapters mainly talk about integration of individual soul. Actually, they are basically spirituality related. Those of you who are interested in spirituality further, they may devote more time on them. These chapters mainly talk about integration of individual soul with that of God to reach any goal. This is what is spirituality. That means total surrender to supreme power, which here is Lord Krishna. That is why I am saying these 5 chapters is solely on you to learn spirituality. Now, what is here management concept in this particular chapter 8? Never give up on yourself. I tell all my life, I had been telling, never give up approach. कभी डर के हथियार नहीं रख देना. Whatever we don't know, we have to put more focus on them so that we come to know. Never, never, never give up on anything on yours. You can do anything. Akshar Brahm reveals that Om is the phonetic symbol of God. Often Om is pronounced and it's called Akshar Brahm Yoga. But this signifies in a spiritual world or in materialistic world, never give up approach is coming from inside the soul of spiritual knowledge. Chapter 9. Again, one concept I am throwing, not the whole thing. The sole aim of all religions, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, anything, rituals of each religion, worship form, penances, charities, or meditations is to connect with the God. Really, I am telling you, this concept of connect with the God is what is real Gita. To connect with the God. Whatever you are doing, do it with love and devotion. I use the word love and devotion, passion and compassion for Lord. If you have in management concept, leadership concept, love, compassion, devotion, and passion, if you do anything with any Tera employee, he will become your follower. In all my life, I was given Tera people and I could easily find them very amenable. When I was in Bhopal as a senior manager in Punjab National Bank, friends, one day I talked to my zonal manager, Shri R.P. Gupta ji, is there at Kanpur. I told sir, you give me this, you give me that, you give me this clerk, you remove this clerk, you give me that officer, you give me that. I will do whatever you say. Oh, he said, Mr. Dubey, then I don't need you there. All these good persons will do already automatically good job. You are required to extend your love and compassion, your passion and devotion, to make them good workers, to transform them. I don't say convert them, to transform them into a working team. There lies your beauty of being a successful manager and leader. My dear friends, that day my eyes were opened as to whatever you get, consider it as a prasad of God. It is God's grace. You have to get best out of everyone. Well, friends, I would move on further to chapter 9, Raj Vidya Yoga. Here I say, do everything you have to do, but not with greed, not with greed, not with lust, not with only that with, but with love. See, what is written here, it may be smaller, but for you it may be bigger. Do everything you have to do, but not with greed and ego and lust, but with love, compassion, humility and devotion and passion. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita. These are Bhagwan's words, my dear friends, not my words. It is so simple, and the result will be the highest liberation. Initially, I told you, a soul is to be liberated from depression to a free soul. How? Attainment of divine, the spirituality. Job is what is assigned. काम है जो दिया जाता है. Roles are what are required. Relation is what is attained. Relationship with the people. Relationship with the God. Somebody can give you a job through the duty sheet. Your roles can be defined, what to do, what not to do. But relationship with the boss, relationship with the peers, relationship with the subordinates, and relationship with the supreme ultimate is to be done by you, me. And for that, God says, I won't ever leave supervision. Supervision, the presence of the responsible leader, is the presence of total understanding and overall accountability. God himself says, I am accountable with total understanding. And as a responsible leader, I'll supervise. Even if the world is sleeping, I'll be awake, arise, and take care of you. Solve your problem, because now you have become one with me. Your connect is full. Your problems are no more your problem. Your problems are my problem. So this is what has been explained here. Roles and relations. A guru becomes an outstanding teacher by offering love, value, teaching, and trust. And a learner becomes an outstanding achiever through dedication, work, knowledge. And my dear friends, do we do all these things? Tell me honestly. Let us look inside. Let us do introspection. Do we do this? If we do it, I can bet nobody can make you ever look for second option. You will get what you want. Welfare of the people. The mutual support and interdependence is the hallmark of responsible leadership and is responsible team. Now we are talking of the team. Leader with support, with interdependence, with role relations, has made a responsible team. Share and care for people's welfare. It doesn't talk of your own welfare. Selflessness. So we talk of people's welfare. Well, friends, effortful offering. Now here it is called effortless. नहीं बोल रहे हैं. Effortful offering. The responsible leader accepts the results of the work done with total love and thankfulness. The leader says, oh God, whatever you have given me, I accept it with love and Well, friends, let me share one fact with you. In my whole life of banking life for 40 years, whatever transfer orders I got, wherever, instantly I moved. I never tried to have any influence for whatever be the reason. Whether my father had cancer, whether my mother had cancer, I wanted to move. Whether my son was moving from 11th to 12th, 10 plus 2, my daughter was moving from 11 to 12, I simply moved. I accepted with humility. This is not my will. This is not boss will. This is the will of the God. ये भगवान की कृपा है. It is the grace of the God. God wants me there, so I have to be there. It is as simple as that. So the responsible leader accept. Here responsible leader is not Lord Krishna. It is Arjun. Accept the results of the work done with total love and thankfulness. Grateful to God, whatever you have given. With devotion, work is worship. Effortless offerings, intentions are important and not just the consequences for the responsibility. Chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga. Oh my God, wonderful, wonderful. Manifestations of divine glories. Manifestations of divine glories. If you know Radha Krishna Prem Kahani, if you have seen serial Krishna by Ramanand Sagar, the love and affection of Radha and her Gopiya with the Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna to all, bonding. Every Gopi thinks Lord Krishna is loving her. Radha knows Krishna loves her. So much of bonding, manifestations of divine glory. This is divine glory. See divinity all around. You see the picture. Every Gopi, every Radha thinks Krishna is with him. An ignorant question is what? Where is God? The answer is, where is not God? He is everywhere. When he is everywhere, to whom we are befooling? I hope you understand what I am saying. 11th chapter. Some of these chapters I told you, they are not relevant too much, but I am touching them because they are essential to Gita. Vishwarupa Darshan Yoga. Itna sabke baad bhi Lord Krishna could not remove, the despondency of Arjun, vision of the cosmic form. Arjun says, let me see God in all your splendor. Lord Krishna shows Virat Roop to Arjun to boost his confidence. Do you understand what is meant by Lord Krishna here in leadership and management? Leader will have to do anything and everything, even including revelation of himself, to boost his confidence of the subordinate. I remember, my dear friends, in my MBA in last year, my specialization was HR and counseling psychology. One of my teacher was SP Rosemine. I asked him, why do you write SP Rosemine? He told, sir, I am SP Khanna. He was a retired HR manager of BHEL. SP Khanna. He was writing SP Rosemine. Mind is like rose. He used to tell me, I take care of people who are in distress by counseling. Counseling people when they are in distress, to bring them out of distress. Here Lord Krishna does counseling psychology with, Arjun, by revealing himself full form, his Virat Roop, to boost his confidence. Vishwarupa Darshan Yoga. What is this? This is the truth. Bhagwan is there before Arjun. This is the ultimate truth. Surrender enough. Surrender enough. Lord says to Arjun, surrender enough to see the truth as it is, because truth prevails ultimately. Satyamev Jayate. Look at the emblem of our country. Satyamev Jayate. Surrender enough to see the truth as it is, because truth prevails ultimately. Vision. Now here comes vision. Vision inspires and creates a mission. Actually, vision is something you think as a goal, and it inspires and creates a mission. Vision is what? Arjun sees only bull's eye, nothing else. So the vision is bull's eye. Mission is what? To throw arrows in the right direction, to aim right, and creates a mission. The team has to take actions. Team has to take actions to fulfill the mission, which realizes the vision. The manager has to ensure that his team is motivated enough, inspired enough, empowered enough to fulfill the mission that has been thought of to realize the vision, to hit the bull's eye. Conclusion: the visionary conceives impossible. Both Lord Krishna and Arjun here. The visionary conceives impossible. The missionary makes it possible. The Sena, the subordinates, the team members makes it possible to us by achieving. Chapter 12. It is a mixture of Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Look, self-devotion. You just see. Devotion means what? Total surrender. The Gopiya, the Radha, they surrender before Lord Krishna. Totally. Communion through loving devotion. A loving devotion, total surrender. Soak your mind and heart in the Supreme Lord, in the service of the Supreme Lord by selfless devotion, and which means a total surrender before the Lord. Well, friends, these were mixture of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and a part of Bhakti Yoga. Those who follow this supreme path of Bhakti Yoga develop what qualities? Celestial qualities, heavenly qualities. What are those? Devotion, passion, love, affection for the responsible leader. The devoted contributor is the dearest friend. Arjun became the dearest friend. Dedication creates love, and love creates dedication. Wonderful words, my dear friends, wonderful words. The final 6 chapters, which are collectively called, in fact, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga are, submerged here. The final 6 chapters, 13 to 18, describe the Jnana Yoga on the path of knowledge. They are primarily concerned with the science of individual consciousness, attaining communion with the ultimate consciousness through intellect and bhakti, knowledge and bhakti. Now the titles here are a bit tough. Ignore the title. What chapter 13 says, let us understand in summary. The differentiation of the knower from the known. Knower is what? And the known is what? Lord Arjun and Krishna. Detached from illusion and attached to divinity. Lord says, illusion, फालतू की बातों से बाहर आओ, illusion, and attached to divinity. Heartful leadership. The responsible leader and his responsible team become one. ऐसे लीडर बनो, ऐसे मैनेजर बनो कि आप और आपकी ब्रांच एक ही धुन सुर में बात करे. सुर एक. The responsible leader and his responsible team become one and contribute by joining hands, heels, heads and hearts. कैसा कम्युनियन हो आपका अपने ब्रांच में, रीजन में, जोन में, बैंक में, जैसा लॉर्ड कृष्णा had with Arjun. Hands plus heels plus heads plus ears, happy, harmonious humanity. Wonderful. I hope this is very clear. Chapter 14. This talks about Guna. Very interesting. Division according to the 3 gunas. What are those gunas? Sattva, Rajas and Tamas Guna. 3 types of gunas are there. Sattva Guna, Rajas Guna and Tamas Guna. I will explain you a little bit of it. Not very relevant, but I will explain you. Live a lifestyle that matches your vision. What is your vision? Your vision is Rajas, Raja wala, Tamas, Rakshas wala, or Sattva, Arjun wala. Live a lifestyle. You are a manager, you are a leader that matches your vision. Your vision is to achieve goals, to achieve career goals of your life, to have communion with the God. All embodied souls, means all individuals, are under the control of three qualities of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. All embodied souls, you, me, and all, they have goodness hidden, they have passion hidden, they have ignorance hidden. To some people, some comes out, to some other comes out, and there are leaders who can bring all these three out. We have explained it here. When Sattva, Rajas, Tamas tendencies are present in equal quantity, the nature remains unmanifest. The variations of above tendencies result in various kinds of characters we see around: the good ones, the hard ones, and the ones in different shades of gray. Look here, we have shown you, Dhritarashtra. This is what it is. This is the Tamas. Then we have shown Dronacharya, the Rajas, and then we have shown Krishna and Arjun as Sattva. You can understand very easily. We have explained the difference between Tamas, Sattva, and Rajas. Rajas is an extroverted mind, hides awareness, anger, anxiety, frustration, desires, experience. Rajas is a great motivator to accomplish things in the world, hinders self-inquiry. Sattva is a calm mind, reveals awareness, facilitates self-inquiry. Tamas is dull mind. Tamas is Duryodhan basically here. Sattva is Arjun and Krishna, and Rajas is maybe Yudhishthira. Well, this is how three types of people we have, and we can distinguish among all of them. Purushottam Yoga. Again, Purushottam is what? God. The mystery of all pervading person. Give priority to divinity. Divinity is what? Spirituality. God. I am not devoting much time here. Dev, Mane, Sur and Asur. Here it is Sur and Asur. Distinction between divine and demonic types. Being good is a reward in itself. Godly qualities and proper conduct are conducive to elevation. Godly qualities and proper conduct are conducive to elevation, while whimsical action, आपके bosses होते हैं whimsical, independent of scriptural direction, and demonic qualities lead to degradation. They go down. Shri Krishna killing King Kansa. This is a demonic form. Whimsical action, independent of scriptural direction, and demonic qualities lead to degradation, while godly qualities and proper conduct are conducive to elevation, like Arjun. Shraddha, Kriya, Vibhag, Yoga, the three divisions of faith. Choosing the right over the wrong is a sign of power. A man is made by his belief. As he believes, so he becomes. Krishna. Here it is very important. You choose the right over the wrong, and you will get right. This is your power. Shraddha, Kriya, Vibhag, Yoga. This is the chapter 17. Devotion is the basic element of spiritual progress, which shapes the nature of the deeds. Devotion. So what I mean to say here, devotion and dedication. If you work in your organization or in your assignment that you have, any work that you have, if you work with devotion, dedication, passion, love and affection, you are bound to reach where you have visualized by whatever moksha. Chapter 18 says, now we are at moksha. Moksha sannyas yoga. Liberation through renunciation by moving to union with God. It is difficult. None of us could reach. A deed inspired by wisdom must also be acceptable to the heart, which is reflected in the behavior. Behavior, which is reflected in the behavior. Our deeds, when the knowledge of Gita drove away the confusion and depression of Arjun, Arjun spoke with conviction, "Yes, Lord, I will follow your advice. Yes, Lord, I will follow your advice." So the wisdom dawns upon Arjun and he goes towards moksha, and the battle is started, completing the 18th chapter. Well, friends, to just coming to an end, I think, Arvindji, I have kept the time intact as far as possible. Moksha Sannyas Yoga, to achieve victory in the battlefield of life, the heart, mind, and body must fight in harmony. Look, to achieve victory in the battlefield of life means yours and mine, the management, leader, the heart, mind, and body must fight in harmony. Sometimes by heart we are kind, but by deeds we are not. So empowering freedom. God says, provide freedom to the employees to work, to flourish, to bloom. A responsible leader empowers freedom. Look, mind the word here. A responsible leader empowers freedom. Empowerment transforms dedicated leader, team members to inspired path makers and responsible. This is what is given in the figure picture also. In the background, it is Lord Krishna telling to Arjun the same thing. And in your day-to-day working life, in office, you tell to the subordinates and your colleagues. Final point, 18.66. The courage and conviction of the responsible leadership and the team is the foundation rock of the courage. I remember, my dear friends, one particular lecture on leadership I heard from Infosys chairman, the founder, Mr. Narayan Murthy in Mumbai, way back in 2013. He told one basic quality of a leader which keeps him other than all is courage. Courage to accept God, courage to accept fault, courage to accept defeat, courage to fight, courage to, anything you need courage. Courage to take bold decision, courage to take tough decision, courage to rebel. So courage. What is required? Courage and then conviction on the courage of the responsible leadership and the team. My dear friends, you have to develop your team to have courage and conviction. Then only the foundation of the victorious team will be laid. When there is no way, the leader is the way. Strive, struggle, stretch, and then surrender before the Lord, surrender before the God, surrender before the leader. No one who does good work. Lord says in Bhagavad-Gita, no one who does good work will ever come to a bad end. Neither here nor in the world to come. Not only in those times, even later on. Moksha, inspiring successful team, the path sure, an inspired path walker, the Arjun and the team. A responsible teacher is like the headlight, and contributor achiever, Arjun, is like the engine. Direction by leader, you have seen now here, Krishna is Sarathi of Arjun. That is why Arjun is called Partha Sarathi. Direction by leader, Krishna, plus dynamism of the team here, Arjun and all other Pandav Sena is equal to joyful, harmonious progress. If you put yourself as a leader here in the Krishna, and if you put your team here in the place of Arjun, you will have a joyful, harmonious progress across the board. These are the glimpses of outstanding management, what I talked about just now, and leadership session taught by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad-Gita. I hope many of them were understandable easily. I tried to make them as simple as possible. The the technical jargon or the session or the what we call the verses, number, name, this you may leave. Rest, those things which you have not understood, leave it to me. Those you have got it, try to practice it with love, compassion, passion, and dedication and devotion. I hope you will never fail. Now I am giving just here some other thoughts as a summary thing. I am not reading out everything. I am leaving it just here. You may just have a look as to in how many different ways Lord Krishna conveys this message by small, verses. Summary of shining guidelines. We have written here guidelines, teaching from Krishna in Gita. There are many inspiring guidelines apart from above, which are guidelines for management and leadership. A, work yoga, mukti from depression, despondency, and focus on karma. Look, various chapters have given these 10, 18, 19, 23 verses. 23 verses are there which talk about karma only. And anybody who is having any doubt and depression in your team can be brought back to mainstream and spirited, enthused, empowered. Second is clarity of mind is essential. I told you the moment depression goes, clarity of mind comes. Then qualities of devotion and dedication in anything that is done. Devotion and dedication in anything that is done. Qualities of separate identity like lotus. Lotus means what? Let us just devote 1 minute on that. You know my name, most of you, Rajiv. My father named me Rajiv because my zodiac name, Rashinam, was Kamal Kishore. I don't know, he might not have liked Kamal Kishore, so he shifted it a synonym, Rajiv Kishore Dubey. And in my childhood, he told me something which I never forgot in my life. I still remember. Rajiv, you have to be like Kamal, ka fool, who remains in the mud, but outshines all others and his beauty through his being separate apart. I hope you understood. Qualities of separate identity like lotus. आप जाके देखो नदी में, काई में, कीचड़ में, गंदे पानी में ही कमल का फूल एक डंडी की तरह ऊपर निकल के आता है और अकेला ब्यूटीफुल होता है, जो भगवान को चढ़ता है, भगवान कृष्ण जी को चढ़ता है, भगवान शंकर जी को चढ़ता है. सो लोटस की महिमा ये है, you have to have that thing. It is written in the Gita also. Lord Krishna says that you have to be like lotus. Wisdom to treat equality. I again say wisdom to treat equally one and all. हम लोग discrimination, distinction करते हैं. कई बार मेल फीमेल में, जनरल कैटेगरी SC ST में, कास्ट कलर क्रीड में, ये सब कुछ मिथ्या है. All this is myth. We all are alike, equal. Anybody can be better than anybody else. So wisdom is to treat equally one and all. The last was here. I again put the same thing here. Good deeds always succeed, while selfish intent never succeeds. So never be selfish. Look for welfare of the people and do good deeds. As you sow, so shall you reap. Thank you, my dear friends, for patient hearing and giving me company for close to 1.5 hours plus. I tried in my own way, to convey the gist of thoughts of Gita as to what Lord Krishna told Arjuna in that time. Any mistake that might have happened is mine. I welcome it, I accept it, and my best wishes to you all for success and for, getting spirituality in your life as you desire. Thank you. Any question, you are welcome. Arvind ji will coordinate with the questions.
So friends, I had asked you to raise the questions through chat. I have not received any questions through chat. Now you can unmute yourself and you can ask your questions individually from Dr. Dubey, because he has explained the whole thing with practical examples from daily life. In daily life, you also face many situations where these things are applicable to you. So you can, based on your daily life experience, you can ask him that this is the situation, how should I react based on whatever you're telling. If you're not able to understand immediately, given his whatever he has told you, you can ask for clarifications.
Sir, I am Usharia. The flow of knowledge from chapter 1 to chapter 18 is really miraculous, sir. You explained whatever can be explained in 1.5 hours from Bhagavad-Gita, right from Karma Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Sannyas Yoga, Dharma, everything, sir. It was awesome. And concluding to Rajas, Tamas and Sato, Gun, everything was the flow of knowledge. And the best thing I appreciate, sir, it was a continuous flow of knowledge without even a single second pause. That gives the impact of your involvement with Bhagavad Gita, sir. And Bhagavad Gita is such a subject, sir, which cannot be explained even in 5 years.
Yes.
But you try to explain it to everyone in such a way so that it can be perceived by all banker brothers. So I cannot ask you any question, sir. I can appreciate your knowledge, your way of explanation wholeheartedly, sir. Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you for your kind words.
Hello, I am Narendra Singh from Bhopal. In fact, this morning I happened to interact with Rajiv ji, who's a very old friend of mine when he was in Bhopal, on something like karma. It was I would say, coincidental that I used the word karma in a question. It was a personal question to me. Then he immediately, WhatsApped that there is going to be a talk on karma today. And I must admit that I've never been a man of philosophy, nor I ever read a philosophy, but I do believe in the certain questions, certain riddles, certain puzzles, which have been always hitting my mind consciously or unconsciously. When you have walked through the innings of your life, and when you look back, you have an account of certain successes, certain failures, and one is really puzzled as to why this happened with me, if it is a failure. And if it is a success, you see, there's no question coming to your mind, except that all you have to say is what our Rajiv ji has said that. But today, his lecture, for the first time, I have ever understood what Gita tells about. Of course, I have got books on Gita, but I could only leaf through 1 or 2 pages. And since there were Sanskrit slokas and other things, I developed the mystery as to what it is all about. For the first time now in my life, when I'm running 70th, as Rajiv would be, I could learn the essence what Gita is all about. Maybe now I look back, and maybe it's the sense of regret, that had I learned this in the initial phases of my life, maybe the life would have been different. But still, it's never too late. I must personally owe a gratitude to my friend Rajiv, who alerted me this morning it was just going to be around 10:30, that you listen. Then I asked my wife, I don't know even how to operate this Zoom and all. I requested my wife to put me on this Zoom, and then Rajiv, I am really, really, really impressed that you learned all this in your life, gentlemen. We were young together. And this course of journey in your life has elevated you to such a strength that you are a role model to everyone, I would say. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nandu Bhaiya. My dear friends, Nandu Bhai is my elder and my senior, in college days. And, our bond has been always sometimes fighting, sometimes, but then a very, very good friend. He is based in Bhopal from UCO Bank. Thank you, Nandu.
Sir, namaskar. I am Satpal Singh.
Namaskar ji.
Sir, it was a very nice presentation on Bhagavad-Gita. Sir, I want to ask one question. We try to follow you, just you told to us, but some staff members just want to spoil the work. They don't get motivated by anything. Sir, how to connect them into business and dissuade them that they do not disturb other persons, other staff from achieving our targets, which we try to give them in a routine business.
There are 2-3 things I would like to say. One is, perhaps their bad qualities are better than your good qualities. 1. 2, your devotion in solving those issues is not full and 100%. You are not giving your 100%. I bet you are giving partial efforts and you think results will come.
Maybe, sir.
Listen.
We will.
No, I am not arguing. These are my views. You have asked me questions, I am answering. Third is, you have never to say give up. I cannot, I could not. You have to never give up. Maybe your efforts, they are hard nut, and your efforts are required more and more so that they improve. They will improve 100%, I bet. Bring someday to me, or I'll come to wherever you are, and then we'll see it is possible. It is possible. Maybe you need more efforts. They say, now, if you don't succeed once, you try again, you try again, you try again. Till you succeed. Have patience. Don't give up. Keep trying. Have 100% effort. You will succeed.
Sir,
No
I am
shortcut.
just I am asking for 1 or 2 persons. I am having a team of 20-30 people, but
Yeah.
1 or 2 people just you told us it could be possible that
No, I am telling you, my dear, I am telling you, you need to do more efforts on those 1 or 2.
Yes,
Those who are good, you need not do much. Those who are good, you need not do much. You have to focus more those 1 or 2 with more love, more compassion, more sacrifice. They are all human beings, my dear. They have mind, heart, and body.
Yes, sir.
They will. Don't give up. I would never suggest you to give up.
Sir, I must say it was quite a wonderful session, learning leadership through Bhagavad-Gita. And Bhagavad-Gita being quite interesting, and the way actually today you had taught, you made it very simple. Like Bhagavad-Gita, as he also rightly said, it is not so simple, but you made it simple. And yes, that is quite interesting. So some leadership qualities like what you say, love, passion, compassion, devotion, that has to become in leader. Only then he can become a successful leader, sir. Right. That is what actually again we have learned, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Chitraji. I am very happy that you were there. You found time to attend this session. I am very grateful to you. My dear friends.
I have to time, yes.
No, my dear friend Chitraji is General Manager, Bank of Maharashtra, Zonal Office, Delhi, and a very intelligent lady, a very, I would say a worker who can rise to any position because of her passion for work. Thank you. My best wishes to you, Chitraji.
Thank you.
For your career and future. Yes, Unni ji.
Yes, sir. In fact, the day I heard you first, from that day, I was just awaiting for a session because on that day, I don't know whether you remember, but I remember you expressed your passion for these things. Then our Satpal Singh ji was explaining about some of the predicament which he is in right now. Sir. You have missed that talk by our Dubey ji earlier when he explained about a very tough clerical staff with whom, how he managed him and how he became his most devoted employee who is still in touch with him. This was explained by Dubey ji. Okay. But what I wanted to communicate, I am reading Bhagavad-Gita and try to understand it, but today, for quite a long time, but today you have given me a new insight especially these things combining with the day-to-day practical difficulties a banker or for that matter any human being will be encountering. It was really wonderful. You have given a lot of fresh insights. I'll put it in that way, a lot of fresh insight to all of us. Thank you very much, Dubeji. I can understand how you succeeded, why you are succeeding. Thank you very much.
Punniji, I have worked for almost round the clock for 1 month to prepare it. Each and every word was weighed. My daughter, grown-up daughter, she is working very in a high position. My son-in-law, my son, my daughter-in-law, all were involved. So the passion is to be of that level that you want to succeed and make it really intelligible and easy for all. I tell you, I have read Gita hundreds times, and for 99 times I could never understand it. Finally, when I got it, I thought it is a time for me to talk about that. I'll tell you one small example. Uniji, very interesting, something has come to my mind. When I was preparing for IAS in 1974, my professor was a very tough person, Shri Santosh Kumar Srivastav. He had died long ago. He was teaching me English because I was from a Hindi medium, ordinary school of Madhya Pradesh, and I did my graduation in Hindi medium. But I was very ambitious, very career conscious. So he taught me English. He told me, you do pressy writing. You know, in IAS those days, in general English paper, Hindi was not allowed, no other regional language, only English. You know, he gave me How to Win Friends and Influence People. That is a book by Dale Carnegie. The first chapter, pressy, I must have written 500 times, 500 times. Or even more. He told, Dobara banao, fir banao, fir banao. And my last piece, he gave me -0/50. I was shocked. I fought with my professor and I said, no, you are making me fun, making fun of me. Well, no, Rajiv, now you are learning what exactly is required. You know, learning, it is endless. How you learn, how much grinding you get. I got that much of grinding. My father taught me English by Rain and Martin grammar when I was in 8th class, 62, 63. So what I am saying, if you learn with devotion and dedication, anything, whether it is language, subject, or anything, you can master that. It is possible. And the friend who was asking me question, I would take it as a challenge also. It will be done. ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता कि हम किसी को change ना कर सके. Transformation is a journey. Sometimes it is easy, sometimes it is not easy, sometimes it is tough. Thank you, Uniji, for your kind words. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I am Tilak Gulati. Sir, I express my gratitude that you have taken us to a transcendental journey, at the same time connecting us with the worldly duties, doing our rightful karma. Sir, you have explained the Bhagavad-Gita in such a lucid manner. It was totally mesmerizing session. Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me for this session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Tilakji. We both are doing a lot of things, and I am happy that you are also a very devoted person. And like Arvind ji, Tilak Gulati ji is also running a banking quest, where I am also one of the mentors, and he does all that with a lot of passion, devotion. He was in US, but his classes, his coaching classes, everything kept on going. He is involved now a lot of persons. It is a forum, I thought. He is doing not for money, he is doing for welfare of the people. I am associated with him and Arvind ji. We want to give something back to the banking from where we got everything. Thank you, Gulati ji. Keep it up. Continue doing what you are doing.
Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. One thing
it was really enlightening, sir.
1 minute, sir.
In fact, actually, you know, we learned quite a lot from this session. Really motivating, and thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you very much.
So, Dubey sir, just I wanted to add one thing. With your blessings, we and Tilak Gulati ji and I have both discussed it, and we are trying to coordinate our efforts so that we join together and we are able to put together our resources and do something much more than we are doing separately.
Thank you, sir. Our both of us.
Arvind ji and Gulati ji, what we have learned in 40 years plus, Let us groom the
Yes.
people. You know, the younger bankers are not, not that informed. They are highly career conscious, but then they want to jump the line. And then we have to inculcate proper banking. We have to see that they groom well. So we need to groom them. That is why, I am involved, associated just because of that.
Thank you. Yeah,
At
Arvind
every
ji.
level, from GM to ED, ED to MD, I am talking on a regular basis to EDs who want to be MD. It is not knowledge, it is not subject knowledge. It is a lot of things more than the subject knowledge which is required. How we present ourselves, how we articulate our thoughts, how out of 10 intelligent people, only one impresses, all 9 don't. So we need to go deep into those things, analyze and come back.
Yeah, thank you, Arvind ji and myself. Both we are doing this out of passion, and we are getting the mentorship and blessings of Professor Dr. Rajiv Kishore Dubey. So our motives are clear. Our motives are fair. We want to develop the next generation bankers. Whatever gap in knowledge gap is there in the young bankers, we want to fill it up. That's our motive of Arvind ji and mine, and of the blessings of Dr. Rajiv Kishore Dubey and all our senior colleagues. So with that, I am very confident that we will succeed in our passion. This is only our passion, nothing else.
Congratulations. My best wishes.
Any more questions or comments? फरीद सर कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं, मेरे को लगता है.
Very good morning to all of you. Dubey ji, this is a very good presentation in a very comprehensive and very lucid language. When you are presenting, I was noting down certain points. So I want to, what I understood in a layman, as a layman, I want to express myself. The first and foremost thing, what I understood is a leader should have his own self-improvement. Unless until he improve himself,
yes,
there will not be any progress. And from entire presentation, what I learned is Krishna is a guide, advisor, mentor, and coach. He played these roles instead of fighting from the front. And he always led by giving advices from the back, but working with a good professional who is Arjun, who knows archery. And allowed his team member to perform his duty without interfering and fight for the team of the Pandavas for good. Then he always had objectives, whether I read somewhere and also from your presentation, his 3 important objectives are: he always tried for the welfare or good of the people that he wants to establish. He wants to destroy the evil and win over the evil. The third is he wants to establish the good principles.
Yes.
So for that, he always tried in his life. And like that only, the present day managers also should have a clear objectives. And he is a very tactful manager, and he had a strategic planning. With that planning only, he has gone with 5 people and fought with 100 main people. I'm not talking about the entire army of the Kauravas.
Yeah.
So a manager should have a good planning. Once the good plan is there, he will be successful. And another point you told is do it. In fact, whatever the Krishna did it, he did it step by step. Though he is all powerful and he knows that what is going to happen in future, but he did not reveal what is going to happen in future with anybody, but he did it step by step. So a leader should follow step by step the procedure for success.
Yes.
That is what you covered. Then sharing the knowledge. Sharing the knowledge is very important with the team members and also the people. And never hesitate to share thoughts. That is a clear example, one diagrammatic presentation you shown when Arjuna was having the fear or having the inhibition to attack his own relatives. Krishna says that what is the purpose of Arjun?
Yes.
What is his purpose and what he has to do to overcome the fear. And also, as you very clearly covered the motivation. Whenever the Pandavas are having the inhibitions or the fear, he always guided them and explained them and motivated them to overcome the fears and the inhibitions. But I have one question.
Yes.
As it was said somewhere in the presentation, Lord Krishna advises, keep on put your efforts without being attached to the results. Is it in the modern world? Is it possible to practice?
No, it is not possible. It is difficult. It is difficult. I say one thing. It is difficult, but those ideals were made some 1,000 years ago when Krishna told these things. So based on that, that is really very difficult to achieve. But one should try to achieve. After all, I say when try to achieve the bull's eye, even that is not easy. The bull's eye, hitting bull's eye is really a tough task. But one should aim at that. If you are aiming at that, maybe you reach somewhere very close to that. We should try.
That's why I'm telling, because Krishna, according to me, Krishna started with clear objectives.
Yeah, I know.
That
Very,
means
very
he is
true.
anticipating some results.
Yes.
Good things to be established and good principles to be established and strengthened. That is his goal.
Exactly. It is
So,
philosophical. It is in that perspective it is told.
Perspective only he has gone.
Yes, very right. Very right. You have understood.
Right. 3 to 4. I will.
That's also a very good presentation, and we have learned a lot of new things.
Thank you. I learned a lot from your Ganeshji presentation. Yeah, what wonderful it was. Learning is mutual. Yeah, learning is mutual. Mutual support, he told. So, friends, thank you very much. Yes, Satyanarayan ji, bolo.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
It was very nice and inspiring. This one, the entire management was brought into Bhagavad-Gita. So the style of management, I know I was a direct participant when you are in charge of our bank.
Yes.
I was there. I was illuminating. I was taking the scripts, whatever you told. Really, it is a wonderful session, sir. I felt this 2 hours session was extremely good and inspiring the people. I think these type of sessions for the youngsters also, those who are coming up to bankers, can be percolated down. It is really wonderful.
Bankers helpline. I think the more people join bankers helpline, the more will be benefited.
Yes, sir.
So Arvindji is trying hard to get more people. I appeal to, you bring all 10, 20, your subordinates, your friends, colleagues. This is how it will grow. Arvindji ji was with me in Canara Bank in my journey of transformation of Canara Bank. And we together, I am telling you, never I could have done alone. We together did wonders in just 18 months. So much so that Harvard Business Review captured it as a case study for the entire generations to come. So he knows how we, collectively did a lot, how it is, and it is possible. Everything is.
I had before you came, I had invited him to join us for taking some sessions on technical issues, because he is a technical person.
IT expert, why? He is
an
IT expert.
So we wanted his knowledge to be shared on the latest things which are coming.
Arvindji, perhaps in LinkedIn or in Facebook, he wrote, such session should be free. Am I right, Hadran? So yes, I immediately responded, forget about others, you will get it from me directly. I remembered and I sent him the link. We need to take care of the people, He wanted, but then he thought, why should I, spend money? No, anyway, that was his idea. A retired person, sometimes they don't, apply their money for such things also. But I don't have any grudge on that. I just told, I will ensure that you get it.
Yes, sir. Really, thank you, sir. Really, thank you, sir. Really, thank you. I will also join. Gulati ji has invited me to join in IT, this one, Bankwest. Now 3 months are over. I'll be joining this group for IT and technology, anything. And moreover, sir, I want to tell you one small thing, sir. I'm having a bank's IT executive group wherein all PSU banks and private sector banks, GM, DGM levels, AGM level, all executive levels are there. In and around, we are seeking questions and guidances and discussing a lot. Around 250 people are there, more than 5 years over. I'm the administrator for that group, and it is going wonderful. And with that support, we'll add up many people and do good to the youngsters, sir.
I think Arvind ji and Gulati should be happy listening to Satyanarayana ji.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
With collectively we can do anything,
Yes, sir.
collectively. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine, dear friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I am Sanjeev. Thank you very much for inspiring us, sir. Sir, I am very much glad that I am having that much of blessings from your side. Just I have started my career, and the blessings you are having with me is a truly very much inspiring for me for my career, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
God bless you. God bless you. Thank you.
So,
good afternoon, sir. This is Rishikesh Misra. Really, it was very impactful, and it was a blessing to listen from you, sir, about the Bhagavad-Gita. Systems are fading away, and the bankers are behind numbers, and so many things are happening in the field to develop the present bankers. These are the blessings for all of guidance of you. Is really going to help us a lot, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We are very grateful and thankful to the God to have been connected through this platform. So once again, my gratitude to our Arvind Mohan sir for creating such a wonderful platform to listen to the great leaders of banking industry. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So I think Mr. Singhai wants to say something.
No, it's just to sum it up. I was just lost in my fond memories with him, and then many people applauding him. It's a pleasure for me to learn that even at this age, there is much to be learned.
What age, yaar?
Much to be learned.
Nandu, what age? Age is no bar.
Age is no bar. And it's pleasure for me to see Gulati, who has been with us for a long term together in UCO Bank.
He's our great pal nowadays.
Gulati was in Bhopal also. Sometime he was there in the regional college. A good association with him, and a nice thing to see him today on the screen.
Thank you, Singhai. Thanks. It's a pleasure for me also. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Sahu, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, sir. No, just I wanted to thank sir that for such a wonderful session and a lot to learn from him. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thanks, friends. We are coming to the end of this session. Before we end this session, I have to tell you that I have sent an email to all of you for giving a link on which you can share your feedback on this session. And tomorrow we are having a session on financial stability report of RBI, which will be presented by Shri M.S. Sundarajanji. He is former CMD of Indian Bank. And those who have not received the email, they can send their feedback on feedback@bankershelpline.com. So I thank Dubey and I thank all of you for having attended today's session, made it very lively. And the good thing is that from the reactions, it could be seen that people have understood what Dubey was saying. When I started with the narrative of Arjun understanding and Dhritarashtra not understanding what Lord Krishna was saying, there is another side to it also, that Arjun was hearing it directly from the Lord, and Dhritarashtra was listening it from Sanjay, who was talking more like a transmitter. He did not understand what he was saying. That's why Dhritarashtra also could not understand what he was saying. But here we had Dr. Dubey, who knew what he is saying, who has been practicing all through in his life, whatever he was saying. And that is why all of us, we were able to understand the whole concept. Many of us might have studied or tried to read Gita, but never could have read it fully. And today we could understand the gist of Gita in 1.5 hours through Dubey sir. Thank you, Dubey sir. I'll unmute all of you and I request you to all.
Arvindji.
I request you all to give a big hand to Dubey sir.
Arvindji, one second.
Yes, sorry sir.
There, Dhritarashtra heard by transmission. Dubeji had online.
But we were listening directly from him. The main thing is that he understands it. That's why we were able to understand.
Yes.
So a big hand to Dubey sir. Big round of applause for him.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
So we are coming to end of this session. We'll be sharing the recordings of this session with all of you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.